Most insurance companies, carriers are not going to call you up and tell you about this opportunity you have if you have permanent whole life insurance. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about reduced paid up, a non-forfeiture clause in many whole life policies that you may be able to use for many different reasons. Let's check them out. So, first, I'm Courtney Rollins, host of the Life and Transitions Experts YouTube channel and Facebook group. I appreciate you jumping on this channel, jumping on this content. Hopefully, it's something useful for you. You probably came here for some particular reason. Maybe you have life insurance. Maybe you're looking for different avenues or ways that you can utilize life insurance. That's what we're going to look at. My journey, just real quick. I'm in the estate professional world. I began my career as a real estate investor wholesaler, where I was finding properties and discounted price and then sharing that discount with investors. In order to do that, I needed to work with folks who had some type of distress in their life. And quite often, that distress could come in well, with many forms. And the form that I decided to pick and choose as a niche to really understand, master, and help is the probate space. Someone passes away, there has to be a way if they have debt or assets in their name and they don't have legal structures to have it pass through to the next entity or person, there has to be a way to sell that, and that's probate. And quite often, property is involved in there. And quite often, the heirs need to sell the property because it's the biggest asset to pay for debt. It's the biggest asset to unlock inheritance. And a lot of the folks that I was helping may not have necessarily didn't always have property. And I was finding myself helping them deal with the probate process and then helping folks avoid probate. It's so quite often unnecessary. It's expensive, it's long, and it's public. And so life insurance became a tool that just I kept encountering people referring them out to folks to get life insurance. And I said, hey, I might as well learn this and add this to my tool belt. And that's what I've done. And it's been an amazing journey. I'm learning so much. NASB, National North American Senior Benefits Program, with shout out to Family Allegiance with AJ Rideout. Amazing folks, all the folks over there. I just don't want to start listing names, but great space, great company. I'm a broker and I have the opportunity to connect with so many different carriers that can provide great solutions. And one of the things that I've learned and been able to share with a lot of clients is this potential that you may have for using your insurance that you've already paid for different things. So let's take a look at this reduced paid up, okay? Okay, so one, you can use it to maintain your coverage during financial strain. If you're unable to pay your premium, the money that you have every month when your premium is paid in a whole life policy, after a certain time that it's paid for all the administrative fees and stuff, it starts collecting cash value. You've also starts paying for insurance. You have coverage that you've paid for. And so, if for whatever reason you're not able to continue paying your premiums, you can use the reduced paid up life insurance to pay those premiums so that you keep the coverage in place. The best insurance is the one that's there when you need it, when you pass. So, being able to use the reduced paid up to pay premiums that you may not be able to currently keep is an awesome tool. It can also help preserve the cash value of the original policy because you've uh, if you convert reduced paid up insurance, the cash value will continue to grow, although at the reduced amount. So let's say you have a $10,000 coverage, you have 3,000 reduced paid up, you decide to use the reduced paid up, it still can start accumulating growth on the $3,000. So that's awesome that you can continue to grow the cash value. Another thing is that it can provide some financial security in retirement. Life insurance is a love insurance. It's one of the few things people invest in that they won't see quite often. But there are times when you can use the reduced paid up life insurance as like a safety net for your for retirement. It allows you to keep life insurance in place without having to pay extra premium. So for instance, a gentleman used his $4,000 of reduced paid up life insurance. He had that set. He's had that in place. He know that his cremation was taken care of, and he was able to utilize the remaining amount for his retirement expenses because he felt like what he needed was taken care of. It can be part number four of your estate planning strategy. It can be an effective way to make sure the benefits are available after the passing, especially if you want to use some of that to cover estate taxes or to give your family some type of liquidity. Of course, the that is what life insurance is. It's an estate planning strategy. Yep. It also another thing, and reduced paid up life insurance can be a assessment asset for to divide when there's a divorce. One spouse may say, "I want to keep the reduced paid up policy," and then the other spouse, so that they can have the death benefits, and the other spouse can have the death benefits for the children or the spouse. So there are different ways you can divide it up. Of course, you talk to a financial advisor and an attorney so that you guys can settle that properly. Number six, it can help you when you're transitioning your needs. So there have been times where I've been able to help people use their reduced paid up policy to make sure they can purchase even more policy or more coverage in their place. And so they ended up without having a huge hit on their budget, were able to get more policy, get more insurance, leveraging what they've already paid for. And again, insurance companies aren't going to call you and tell you, hey, there's this opportunity here. Well, most aren't. Yeah, a lot of people may not be aware of this, but your life insurance policy is an asset, so you can use it as collateral for loans. For instance, you can use it collateral to invest home renovations. There's a lot of opportunities that you can use. Again, make sure you check with a financial advisor and doing it properly. But it could be great collateral for loans, and it can just number eight overall enhance the financial strategies that you have. It makes you a more savvy. You don't have to be a Warren Buffett or any Wolf of Wall Street or anything like that, but it grows your financial literacy, your acumen, and your ability to see opportunities and help your family and help others. So definitely take a look at Reduce Paid Up. See if you connect with an agent who's speaking to you about other options, opportunities. Ask them about the Reduce Paid Up option, particularly if they are not a if they don't work for that specific carrier. So if they're a broker and they can pick and choose different carriers, I think that's a little more advantageous than a person who works for one specific carrier. Although there can be advantages for folks who work for one carrier. So just really make sure you ask the questions. If you want to connect with me, I'd love to work with you or I'd love to chat with you or hopefully point you in the right direction. I'm Courtney Rollins. You can reach me at 662-816-6332. This is the Life in Transitions Experts channel. LITE, let your light shine. Cheers.